What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Earn and Grow Show. Shane Sams, your party host, is in the house today, and I'm ready to answer some other questions about online business, man. We want to help people take their online dream to the next level. We want to help people earn their income online, and we want to help them grow their impact out in the world so they can build the life that they have always wanted for themselves and for their families. And we're just going to jump right into it today, guys. I am fired up. I'm chomping at the bit. I'm ready to go. And I'm ready to answer some questions. So Kevin Crow, producer, content wizard himself, who is the first person on today's episode of the Earn and Grow Show that's going to be up on the mic?
First up, we've got Ann Coleman.
Ann, what is going on? Welcome to the program. I love your hat. That is a nice hat.
Well, that's because I have bad hair today. So
I have. If you can look behind me, I have like 4 hats waiting at all times, and like I am borderline right now needing a haircut. And it took me a minute today. I was like, am I going to comb this or am I going to put a hat on? But I've got one more day of hair before I need a haircut. So
at least you don't have all this. So that's what I'm dealing with.
That's right. Right. How you doing? What's your question today?
Good. I want to ask about where we start with pricing and how we go up gradually. I heard you on one episode talk about starting at a beta member price and then raising it gradually. And it seems like you talked about like doing webinars every so often and then maybe raise it on a weekly or monthly basis throughout the webinars. Okay. Is that right?
Okay, and then tell me about your business real quick. Like, what are you doing online?
Okay,
that's gonna.
So I help parents of teens and tweens who need to decrease the conflict and strengthen their relationship and change their teens' behavior. So,
oh my gosh, I have a tween that I need your help with. Lord have mercy. Everyone with a 12-year-old is freaking out right now, going, "Ann, please help me."
Yeah,
it's so hard. They just change all of a sudden.
They do.
Why do you
hate
me now?
But I went through a hard time with my son. So I've quit practicing law and this is what I do. So I have a podcast and all that good stuff.
What's your podcast called?
Speaking of Teens.
Speaking of Teens?
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Teens? That is cool, man.
Yeah.
I'm going to download that. Shameless plug for Speaking of Teens.
Good deal. Yeah, everybody needs this for sure.
Everybody. Yep. And then you're starting a community of people with teenagers and tweens?
Yep. And I have a free Facebook group right now with about 110 people, moms so far in it. And so I'm doing a series of webinars, free webinars over the next 3 Fridays in the Facebook group live. And then the plan is to kind of pitch the beta.
Gotcha.
So I'm trying to decide what price to start out at and then how to gradually raise it. And how long do I let the beta members stay at that price?
Okay. Great questions. Pricing's not super. It's not like it's challenging because it's like one of those things you just don't know. Like there's no way to know what the right price is until you put it in front of somebody. Like you just don't know. It's like asking someone out on a date. Like you can plan it and you can try it, but until you go up to that person and says, "Hey, do you want to go to the movies or something?" Like that, you don't know what they're going to say. They could say no, right? And like that's what the market does. You got to like try a price. What I usually do when I'm coming up with a price, especially for kind of a regular niche, we've had people come on the show that have they're dealing with like doctors or lawyers or like they know that this is a audience with a lot of disposable income. So that's a different kind of scenario. Most of the time for normal, markets like this, I just say $50 to $100. It doesn't really matter. We just got to try something out of the gate. Okay. And then what we do for beta pricing is we play off of that price. Okay. So I would guess that a great place to start is $49 a month here. Like just throw it out there. If a lot of people take it, that is a great sign that you should raise your price. If nobody takes it, we might have priced it too high. Okay. Now, here's how we do beta pricing. The reason we choose a price first is because we have to have a place to play off of. So what we would say here is, hey, guys, in this webinar, this is going to be $49 a month. That's the first thing we say. However, I'm opening some beta groups to let people in and help me build this community into an amazing resource that's worth hundreds of dollars a month. Okay. So for a limited time or a limited number of spots, that's what I like to do with beta groups is I like to say the first 20 people will get in at $29 a month. Okay. So that would be that's
kind of what I was thinking.
Yep, exactly. Now, when you get people in, when those 20 buy, you asked the second question of how long do they keep that price? Yeah. They're in forever. I don't care if you eventually charge $500 a month for your service. Those people are in forever because they are the people that bet on you first. They're in we still have people in the first launch of Flipped Lifestyle back in 2014. We still have people in at the beta price because they never quit. They just kept paying month after month and year after year. Like we still have members we've grandfathered up through the ages, and people are around, and probably not many. There's a few people that are probably floating around in there. You know what I'm saying? But or we've grandfathered them to lifetime access just because they were amazing in the beginning. And then what you do is you say, all right, this month I'm going to let in 20 people for $29 a month. And then once you hit 20, the next webinar, you're like, all right, guys, we're in our beta grand opening right now. So, this is going to be $49 a month, but now you can get in for $34. Okay. I'll give you a discount. It's permanent. You can keep it forever. Then the next one, when that 20 fills up, you say, all right, 39, then 40. You just keep stacking until you get to 49. And if people are still joining at 49, then you can think about a price increase. And you do that the same way. You just email your list and you say, hey, guys, I'm raising the price on October 1st. But anyone that gets in now will lock in at 49. I'm changing it to 59. That'll create sales. And then it's just push it until people stop buying, because that's the goal. When people hear me say that, I think they mean like get as much money out of people as you can. Yes, I do mean that but I'm also looking for the market price. Like what do most people want to pay, and when will they stop paying? That's the correct price, because the market determines the price. It's not like gouging people. It's not charging people more than they're willing to pay. It's finding the place where the market says this is this valuable. You go $1 higher, it's not. Okay. So that's usually what we do with beta pricing. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So it's better. You think it's better to do it by number of people rather than a time limit?
I do. I think it's better. I mean, you can still do a limited time. Like I'm going to close this cohort at midnight Tuesday. Right? Yeah. And if you only get 13, you only get 13 until the next webinar. That's fine. But like, I like to do it time bound, because then it really feels exclusive. Like everyone in that Facebook group is going to see there's over 100 people in it. So if you say there's only 20 spots and there's 100 of you, sorry, some of you are getting left out. It creates FOMO. It creates them wanting to go forward and doing that.
Okay, great.
Yeah, they can see the number, and also too, like, honestly, until you've tried a price too, even in beta, like try this for like 12 weeks, because like you're not going to one time, maybe 3 people might join. I mean, there's only 100 people in the group right now, right? It's a consistent thing over time. It may take you 2 or 3 webinars to get to that 20 number. Right. And then you take a break for a couple of weeks and come back. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Love the space. That is absolutely awesome. You're going to change some people's worlds. I know that.
I hope so.
Awesome stuff. All right. Thanks, Ann, so much, man. What a great question, guys. Pricing, guys, is challenging, but not difficult and not hard. Don't freak out about your pricing. We're all blindly guessing at the beginning. You can research your competitors and see what they're charging. That's one way to go about it. You can think about your pricing and the value proposition and like what it's worth. That's another way to go about it. But at the end of the day, sooner or later, you're going to have to try a price. And you know what you do if you get it wrong? You hit backspace in the place you typed in the price and put in a new price and try it again. Right. And you just go out to the world. You say, hey, now it's this price. It could be higher. It could be lower. It could be whatever it is. And we do have training in the blueprint. We've got an entire course on pricing inside of the blueprint. So if you're not a member of our community and you want to get inside of our community and you want to try it out, you can go join right now and you can get a course on that, and it will help you price your first online product so that you can get it out there as close to the price it's going to be as possible. But you don't have to do that alone. All right, guys, that was a great first question. We've got some great questions to come. But before we get to our next question, I want to stop and talk about my can't miss moments from last week. Can't miss moments to me are moments that I would not have gotten to experience if I did not become an online entrepreneur, if I didn't earn my entire income online, if I didn't grow my impact out in the world, if I didn't go out and use my God-given gifts to create freedom for myself and my family. I would not have experienced this if I was still working that 9 to 5, still putting in 12 hours a day, still working for somebody else and doing what they told me instead of what I want to do. This is stuff I would have missed out on. And I share these can't miss moments to show you what's possible in your life. You are missing so many moments. We get one shot at this life. We all get about 70 to 100 years. That's it. And then it's over. So we got to maximize our minutes, maximize our moments. And we don't want to miss those important moments in life. And my can't miss moment this week was from my daughter, Anna Jo, and her friends sitting out on our balcony. So for those of you who may not know, my wife and I, we used to be school teachers in Southeast Kentucky. had a nice little cookie cutter house in a cookie cutter neighborhood, just like everybody else does, had the beat up cars in the driveway. But when we became online entrepreneurs, we started an education company, we started a sports company, we started this company, and we grew our income. We were able to kind of upgrade our house, and we are very blessed. We have a beautiful home that sits on a 10-acre private lake in the middle of a 40-acre kind of estate here in Southeast Kentucky. We're nestled in the mountains. Is nestled a word? I think I just made a nested. Nestled. I'm going to say nestled. I don't even know if that's a real word, but I'm going with it right now. I just make it up. It's Appalachia. You don't know what we say around here, but it's nestled in the mountains of Southeast Kentucky. We're surrounded by like 1,000 acres of forest, and it's just an awesome place. It's a real Garden of Eden. I wake up every day and I look around and go, how in the world do I live here, man? It's awesome. And, when we first were looking at this house, I remember the real estate agent took us in the first time. We were like, this place is cool. It's awesome. The house was cool. I was like, could be Anna's room. This could be Isaac's room. This is where our room is going to be. And then we walked upstairs through the living room, and he walked us over to this big double door, and he opened this door, and we walked out onto a balcony. I thought, oh my gosh, how much money do you got to make to live at a house with a balcony? This is amazing. It was like a patio upstairs, y'all. It was like a back porch on the back of the top of the house. It was unbelievable, right? And so we walked out here on this back porch in the sky, and we looked around, and I just looked down at the water, and I looked at the forest, and I looked over at Jocelyn, and I said, baby, I want my kids to grow up in a place like this. We've worked really hard. We bet on ourselves, and we've got this online business. Let's live here. So we negotiate. We got this house anyway. Fast forward a decade later, and my daughter now is in middle school. My son's in middle school, and they're making friends. My daughter's a cheerleader. She does sports. She does all these cool things. And the other day, I get a text from her because, we're at that stage of parenting where your teenagers text you instead of actually come talk to you. And she said, hey, Dad, can you come up to the balcony and light the fire for me and my friends? And so I walked upstairs, and Jocelyn and I, when we first moved into this place, we stayed at this real fancy hotel, and they had this like 6-foot long kind of rectangle fireplace. And I said, oh man, we got to buy one of these and put it up on the balcony. So we did. We went out and found one, and we put it up on the balcony. So I went up there on the balcony. Anna Jo was sitting on the couch with one of her friends. Another little girl was sitting in this chair. And I was teaching them like how to light the fire and turn it on and turn it off and how to be careful and all this stuff. And it was getting dark. The sun was going down. It was a beautiful sunset. And I turned the gas on and I lit the fire. And then, of course, my daughter was like, okay, you can go away now. She's like, get out of here, Dad. I got stuff to do. Thank you for lighting the fire. And I was like, all right, I'm out of here. And I walked back into the off the balcony, and I shut the door, and the lights were off in the thing. And I just turned around and I just stopped. I'm going to cry. I'm going to get misty eyed. And I stopped, and I just looked out the window, and I just saw my daughter, and I saw her two friends, and they were having this like wonderful experience. The sun setting, the stars coming out in the country, the crickets coming alive, and that fire was lit there. And it just like, I stopped and I took a mental picture, and I was like, man, this is exactly the kind of moment that I dreamed about when I first had my first idea for an online business. Like, this is what made me work so hard to see this dream come to pass, was to create a can't miss moment like this, where my daughter was creating these amazing memories with her friends in an environment that I never could have imagined growing up. Like, I literally slept on the back porch. We had a glassed in back porch and a oil heater at the house I grew up in, and I slept on the back porch. And now my daughter got to experience a hotel style fire on the balcony in the sky, baby. And it was all possible because of our online business. So, can't miss moments like that, man. That's why I do what I do. And I know you've got dreams, you've got images, you've got things that you want in your mind too. And the way you make them come to pass is you take control of your income, because income equals freedom. And the best way to create income is to start, build, and grow an online business of your own, on those ideas, on those passions, on those things that you love, that you have learned, that you have lived through. You go out and you make it happen, and you build an audience, and you build a list, and you build a membership, you build a community. You go out and find your 100 people to pay you $100 a month and make $10,000 a month. And then you have the resources to go out and create those can't miss moments for you and your family too. That's what we're here to do. We're here to help you build those moments into your life, so that here in a couple of years, you're going to be calling in and saying, Shane, here's my can't miss moment I was dreaming about. And that online business we created in your community, saw it come to pass. That's what we're here for, is to help you do it. And we're here to help another amazing member of our community. If you're a community member, you get to come to these tapings live. You get to ask questions. You get on the air. And Kevin, who do we have on the air right now? Who's coming up next?
We've got Natalie.
Nat in the house. Come on up to the stage, the virtual stage here on the Earn and Grow Show. I've been having lots of power issues the last 3 tapings of this show. And at any moment, I may disappear, but I'll be back. I promise. Okay. So tell everybody about you and your online business and what you do. And then what question do you have for today?
I am the finished book, and it's basically helping writers get their book finished. Eventually, it is going to morph into teaching them how to be author entrepreneurs. But where I'm starting at now is helping them just get their book done and create a community around that to get that done. So
love it. How can we help you grow that?
Okay, so here's the deal. I in the beginning of the blueprint, you say very specifically, do not do a whole bunch of things, do one thing at a time. That's how you get things done. And the problem I'm having with this is I'm currently creating my workbook, which I'm going to then do little video clips to go along with. And that's in my selling portion. Of course, I'm going to use pieces of that to grow for my content for Instagram. I want to learn how to do the YouTube with podcast and breaking it down and how to do all of that in the auto. And then I've got the free Kajabi for 2 months. So I'm wanting to set that up, and I wanted to launch in 1 month. So I have all these things in my head, like, I want to get all this done. And now, mind you, I have all day to do it. I don't have kids. I am not working. So I feel like I can do this, but I feel like
that's an unfair advantage right there. We're going to take advantage of that. We need to capitalize.
Everyone hates me right now for saying that.
No. Hey, listen. Hey, everyone is working from a different set of parameters. Some people will have advantages you don't have. They might have $1,000 a day for ads or whatever, right? So it's okay. We want to capitalize on that amazing opportunity you have to have all that time. So that's what we're trying to figure out.
So yeah, I feel like everything's going slow because I'm going like this, and yet at the same time, I'm like, how do I not go like this? Because I'm determined.
Yeah. So what you can do, all you have to do is reframe, like what we say when we do have an ABC mentality in the community. We do have a take action on the next thing, right? But you can build on top of that. Like you can do what's called block time. Like for example, you could do, let's say you want to grind. Okay. Let's say you want to put in 9 hours a day. Okay. Like you just want to do that. Like I'm going to go as fast as possible. I don't recommend doing more than that because you'll burn yourself out and you'll feel crazy. You know what I mean? But what you can do is you can just block that off into like 3-hour sections and like take like 1 minute. The first section, I'm going to build my product. I'm going to spend 3 hours and work on this product today. And then maybe the next 3 hours, then you take a lunch break. And then you come back for 3 more hours and you're going to work on content. You're going to batch the crap out of content and social media and get them scheduled and make that happen. Right. Then you take another break. You come in for 3 more hours. You know what I'm going to do this time? I'm going to do something else. I'm going to reach out to 100 podcasts a day and I'm going to make sure if I can get a guest or whatever it is. Right. And you can totally just do block time and work on a lot more stuff, or you can go all in on something like I'm going to finish my product by Thursday and I'm going to have every course I want to create recorded and I'm going to spend time editing it. And in 2 weeks, I'll have my course. Now I'm ready to open the doors and I'll have something for sale. Right. So don't be afraid to go ahead, but don't multitask. You've got to have some kind of that's what will drive you insane. Right. You've got to be able to work on segments of your stuff. Right. And there's only a few segments. Like you're either working on growing your audience, growing your list, or serving your people. Serving your people is like building courses, talking about things in your community. Right. So just break your day up into that and work on all 3 like every day. Another way to think about this is too, you could block off your time. Like maybe it's 2 hours at a time. So it's only 6 hours or whatever. I get up every day and I think about these 3 things. Number 1, how am I going to get someone to buy something? That's my first little bit. That's usually send an email to the list or post on social media, right? How am I going to get people to buy things? I've got to think about that every day first. New business is the lifeblood of every business. If you're not thinking about how I can get my next customer the first thing every day, then you're not really an entrepreneur. You've got to think about that. Where does the next sale come from? Okay. The second thing that I think about every single day is how do I serve the people that are already paying me? You may not have anybody paying you yet, but that is something you need to be thinking about and flexing that muscle and preparing for, right? So the first stop I make every morning is the community forums. I go to the community forums. I go to my inner circle forum. I see if anybody from the inner circle is posted. In my inner circle, what I do is I actually leave them video replies. So I'm actually having a video conversation with our students in the inner circle. That's why it's so valuable. But then I'll try to answer some posts in the regular community too. I don't answer them all because I don't have time. There's too many people in there, right? But I will go in and leave some text replies there. So I think about the forums second, like how to cut. And it's not because existing customers and new customers are just as important. But if you don't get new customers, you go out of business, and then the existing customers don't have a place to go. So don't get me wrong here, guys. I'm not putting new customers before my existing customers. Selling is serving your existing customers, period, because it keeps the machine going, right? And then the last thing I do is I think about how to grow the audience, right? Because like if I don't have an audience that's growing, then I don't have a pool of people to become new customers, which means eventually all my customers quit and I have no customers and I'm out of business. So you can think of it that way too. How do I get new customers today? That's what I'm going to work on. Tomorrow, how am I going to get existing customers served? Cool. How am I going to make my audience grow? I'm going to batch a bunch of content, make new podcasts. So just use like block time. Just think about how to best use your time. You can totally go ahead. Most people I have to rein in because they're all over the map. You have time to be all over the map. So totally use all that time and don't be afraid to be scattered and go crazy. But don't do too many things. Like, yeah, it's still not a good idea to like try to, I'm going to do a podcast and a YouTube channel and blog, and I'm going to be an author, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to like, you still need to be focused on your strategies, but just use all your time and just condense it. Like, for example, it took me 3 hours a week, right? That's all I had to work. And it took me 13 months to quit my job. I had 3 hours a week and my wife had 3 hours a week. We only had 6 hours a week. Imagine how much faster we could have done it in 6 hours a day. You have that advantage. So do it. Go use it. I ain't going to hold you back. That's fine. Well, you are released, my friend, into the universe to go and expel energy. Does that make you feel better?
Yes, very much
right,
so.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff.
I think it was all of that time. Like I had so much time. That's what was, yeah. And that was exactly what I needed.
Yeah. Go watch a blueprint training in the morning, every morning, and then spend all day until you've got it happening. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if I say batch your content and you watch that at 9 a.m., batch 5 podcasts, edit them, record them, schedule them, and you're done. Go to the blueprint, go to the next chapter. That might take a week for some people to do, but it might take you a day, right? It's okay. Use your unfair advantages. Sound good?
Love it.
All right. Have a great day, Nat. Appreciate
Thanks.
you. All right. Guys, listen, unfair advantages are different for everybody. And you have to capitalize on your unfair advantages. I actually thought it was an unfair advantage. My unfair advantage, me and Jocelyn, I'll tell you what it really was. I only had 3 hours a week to work on my online business when I started making money online. 13 months later, I was able to quit my job and go full time as an entrepreneur, right? But here's the deal. My superpower was scheduling. Me and Jocelyn are ninjas with the calendar. I mean, you should see our Google Calendar. It looks like we're living 7 lifetimes every day, right? But that's our superpower is, listen, when me and Jocelyn put it on the calendar, we get it done, period. Like you can write it down. It's going to happen. Like that's really our superpower of how we move the needle forward so much in our online business. Because if Shane and Jocelyn say they're going to do something, they're going to do it. That's going to happen, right? Now, are we flexible? Of course, you have to be flexible. Life does not cooperate with the calendar all the time, but we committed to those few things we could do, and it moved the needle forward. It was our unfair advantage. We're really good at scheduling stuff and getting it done, right? What's your unfair advantage? Do you have more time? Do you have less time? Are you really good on camera? Are you really good on the microphone? Write down your unfair advantages and then go out and make those things happen. All right, guys, that was a great question by Nat. Man, I love answering questions here in the community, but I want to take a brief second before our next question, and I want to encourage you to go and leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, or head over to YouTube and subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you don't miss a single episode of the Earn and Grow Show. And leaving us a review, man, that's going to help us grow the audience. It's going to help more people find the show, which means more people are going to come into the community and more people are going to ask amazing questions right here on the Earn and Grow Show. I'm going to be able to answer those questions. I'm going to be able to help them, and I'm going to be able to help you by letting you listen in to all those amazing questions. It's really important not only to get those subscribers on YouTube, but to get those reviews over on Apple Podcasts. If you listen on another podcast player, maybe it's Spotify, maybe it's something else, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you download episodes and make sure that you're leaving us a review anywhere you can. If you've ever gotten any value out of these free podcasts, these free YouTube videos that we release all the time, go ahead and just drop us a little tip in the tip jar, but not money. We just want that 5-star review. So go ahead and leave us a review. Tell us what you think about the show. Tell us what you love about it. We're here to serve you. We're here to help you. We're here to let you listen in to the journey of other people so that you can make your journey a success as well. We would love for you to leave us a review and hear about what you think of the show. Heck, if you don't like us, go leave some hate. Go ahead. Give me the 1 star. I don't care. I want to know. It makes me better. Every bad review is a lesson to make me better. It will forge me in the fire of all your haterade that you're pouring on my head after the game that did not succeed. Okay. It's like, in real life, when you win the football game, they pour Gatorade over your head. But in the online world, if you do something stupid, if you're terrible, they pour the haterade over your head. It's just a total opposite, right? So listen, whatever you want to do, if you love the show, leave it. If you hate the show, leave it. I don't care. I can take it. I got thick skin, but we'd love to hear from you. Our goal is to get better. Our goal is to serve you. And our goal is to grow this audience so that we can help more people earn their income online and grow their impact out in the world. So even if you're not a member of the community, go leave us a 5-star review. If you are a member of the community, leave us a review there as well so you can help your community grow and get more people in that community so you have more resources to earn and grow your income online. And I'd love now to help somebody else earn and grow their income online. So who do we got next? Who's our next question here, Kevin?
We've got Misty.
Hey, Misty, how you doing?
I'm great. How are y'all?
I'm great. I love that accent. Where are you calling in from right now? Texas, man. Texas. I love this. Sometimes I love it when I go to Texas because outside of Kentucky, Texas is about the only people that can keep up with my crazy accent, man, because we y'all and yeehaw together. I think a bunch of people from Kentucky migrated out to Texas and took the accent with them. So I'm glad you're here. We will finish the third call, this call, with a y'all and a yeehaw. How you doing? What's your online business, Misty? And then what's your question today?
So my husband is starting one, and so am I. And so we both have really the same question. We're kind of stuck. So do we start like the group, like a Facebook group first, or do we go ahead and launch with the paid membership? Because it makes sense to me that if you start as a free membership, then people would have a hard time converting to the paid. So we're just kind of stuck and want to know what comes first, the chicken or the egg.
I love chicken and the egg questions. I love this. So tell me this. What is your business and what's your husband's business, just for context? And then I'll talk about like how to.
So mine is going to be, all right, don't tell my job, but I'm at my job.
I love she's calling in from a back alley where everybody else is smoking cigarettes and she's trying to grow her dreams. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about right here. That's the smoke break alley that I'm seeing behind you right there. Man. That's amazing. Don't tell my job. All right, listen, this will totally be secret. Only tens of thousands of people will ever hear this, so it's fine. It's okay. Nobody will know. All right, go ahead.
Okay, so mine is for moms. So like as a midlife mom, I kind of went through. I got really stuck. And so I got unstuck. And so I would like to help other moms get unstuck, because I think that's a very common thing where you just get stuck in the rut of being a mom and going to work and being a wife and going to work. And it's just Groundhog Day.
Yep.
And you kind of lose yourself, or at least I did. And I actually think that's more common than we give ourselves credit for.
100%.
And anyway, so I would like to help moms through that shift. And then my husband's is Aviation Brotherhood. He's been obsessed with planes, and I'm, to be honest, kind of tired of hearing about it. And so I told him, you need to make a membership. You need to join Shane's thing. I'm so sick of hearing about planes. So please, here, I will pay for you to do Flip Lifestyle.
Oh my gosh, that is phenomenal.
I'm tired of hearing about it.
Start a business so you'll leave me alone. I think that's why we started this business, because all I talk about was like entrepreneurship, and Jocelyn was like, "Oh my God, shut up! Go talk to other people. What are you talking about?" Oh, that's so funny.
Yes, you can make money talking to other people about this stuff.
100% he can. I've got a buddy named Grant Baldwin of the speakerlab.com. Shameless plug for one of my friends. But he got his pilot's license, and he just bought a plane, like a little one. And he's like, hey, just got my plane and flew to Alabama in 2 hours. And like, he loves that stuff. And like, it's hilarious because he says stupid crap like, as a member of the aviation community and all this bull crap. Like, shut up, dude. But it was like, it was awesome watching him get this pilot's license. And I'm so interested in like, that would be it's like a time machine. Like if you can fly a plane, Shane. And like, so like, I'm totally interested in that. That's amazing. I might be one of your husband's first members. Who knows? I'll tell Grant about it when it's launched. Okay. So your question actually is not the right question. The real question here is, how do I grow an audience and how do I grow a community? Okay. The community, when we say community, that means paid. Okay. That means they're going to come into it. Audience is people who are consuming content for free. Okay. That's pretty much what that is. So like some people do use the tool of a Facebook group as their community. So they get paid to join a Facebook group, but that Facebook group basically is where you host your paid content. I do not recommend people use a paid Facebook group. If your Facebook group gets shut down or banned or deleted, or your Facebook account gets suspended, you just lost your entire business, right? You need to be paying for something like Kajabi or Mighty Networks or something where you can build a community somewhere else. Okay. What I would do is, if you want a free Facebook group, which is a strategy that we use to build audience, not membership, start a free Facebook group, right? And that Facebook group needs to have very specific DNA, right? Like, for example, you could start a Facebook group and the only thing you do there is share inspirational content. Okay. So maybe it's inspiring moms to be better. Maybe it's like inspiring aviation people to be whatever. Like there's a theme to it, right? That you're doing there that's free. Okay. You're creating content there for free. Maybe you're doing webinars there to sell your paid community. Okay. And then you start a paid community, you charge, and that's where people get stuff like curated content. They get courses that are written in order, that are easy to follow. That's a step-by-step blueprint, a path, a process. They get deep community access to you, right? Like, for example, a free Facebook group may not have any access to you. You might release training in there or some courses in there or some content in there, but they ain't talking to the star of the show inside that free group. But in your paid community, they would be able to pay for access to you. So you might do Q&A in that place, right? Stuff like that. So there has to be a difference in these two things. Facebook groups, to me, fall directly in the category of social media and content. It is designed to build an audience. There is a limited amount of access there. A paid community, you can have two Facebook groups too, by the way. You could have a free Facebook group and then a paid Facebook group that gets access to other stuff that's not in the free group. That's cool. You could totally do that. But there's got to be some kind of like separation there. So and also too, it's not hard to convert people from a free thing to a paid thing, because free things often are just not enough, right? Like if your paid thing has courses and your free thing does not, then it's not really a hard sell. It's like, hey, do you want some more content to learn how to do this in a step-by-step order? Then join my paid thing. And we have to have free things or we can't build an audience. Like this podcast is free every single week, right? I don't have a Facebook group because I just don't like to do that. I don't have time for it. But like if I had a free Facebook group, I could have the Earn and Grow Facebook group where we, I don't know, put clips of this show up there every day so people can go watch it, like we do on our YouTube channel. But it wouldn't. There would be paid stuff. Would be the blueprint. Paid stuff would be like this. Like you're on the phone with me right now, right, talking to me about this thing. This is the paid thing. There ain't nothing free getting access to me. Right. So like that's the way it goes. Does that make sense? Does that kind of clarify the boundaries between those two things?
Yes. A lot.
All right. Perfect. So go out. Hey, start a free Facebook group. If you're going to do that, name it something very clear, like moms having a midlife crisis getting unstuck. Name it so people who love piloting planes or whatever it is. Like be really clear, and you can grow an audience there, repurpose some content, and then sell them the paid thing later. Awesome question, Misty.
Okay, thank you.
Hey guys, you're building different assets in your business. Some of your stuff builds an audience. That's usually the free stuff. Don't get caught up with what's free and what's not. You can say anything you want out there in the world if you want to say free. And then paid stuff is more like curated content, community, and most importantly, access to you. If you're getting access, if people are getting access to you, they should be paying for it because your time is limited. Your expertise is expertise and good, and you deserve to be paid for what you know. So, all right, guys, that wraps up this episode of the Earn and Grow Show. Man, thank you so much. If you want to be on the show, if you want to get more access to more content, and you want to get access to more of these questions inside of our community, head over to the website. You can go to shaneandjocelyn.com. And you can check out all the things that we have to offer. Not only do we have this amazing community here, but we have other resources, whether it's personal development, entrepreneurship, business development, anything you need, shaneandjocelyn.com. We are here for you to help you take your business and your life to the next level. Can't wait to see you on the next one. Can't wait to see you on the next live taping. Get in the community where you can not only learn how to start, build, and grow an online business, but you can be featured on the show getting your questions answered. Until next time, get out there, take action, go earn your income online, and grow your impact out in the world. Shane Sams for this episode is out.